common mistakes that dog owners make post-training.
Yep.
Mostly we're referring to board and trains because the dogs go home knowing a lot. But this applies to group classes, private lessons, any of the above. The most common mistakes that we see in follow-ups or feedback from the clients, and what our feedback is for you on the most common mistakes. So
the biggest thing that prompted this video is people will come and say, like, my dog will do a down stay, but not if I walk out of the room. And it's like, we can do that here with them, but you have to practice that with them for lots of different reasons. And so we're just kind of going through how to maintain those things with you when you get home.
And training and obedience commands. Boundaries are different. They're a little bit easier to maintain. But obedience commands that you want to work in any context in general with any distraction, you have to do a lot of rehearsing and proofing.
Yep.
And even if you put in all that rehearsing and proofing work and the dog's really good at it, if you don't use it for a half a year, the dog might forget how to play piano.
Yeah.
Some of those things will come right back to the dog really quickly, but if you're not using the things that the dog learns, it's not like it's programmed into them where they just are going to do it for life.
Yeah, it's not quite like riding a bike.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Some things, but not performative, impressive obedience where your dog will do all these things in any context. So number one is dropping the structure too soon. And this seems like an obvious one, but the mistake here is you're letting the dog run free, ignoring the daily routine that we've kind of set you up with, or only following that routine on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then not following the routine the rest of the weekend, not keeping to a schedule. Even the time that you feed the dog, potty the dog, if you stick to a routine, it just will make your and the dog's life easier. And consistency is such a dumb buzzword in dog training because we're like, be consistent, but what we really mean is stick to some things long enough that the dog knows it and will do it without you having to manage it so much. So if you take the dog home, and every dog we send home has a way different structure schedule. We literally take the time to collectively agree this dog can have these privileges, this dog can't have any of those privileges. This owner can do these things, but this owner can't do any of those things. We're really taking the time to think about you, the dog, and the dynamics between you and the dog. So when we give you a schedule, it's not to be picked apart.
Yeah. We understand that some people work 9 to 5. Some people have kids that go to school and they're home the rest of the day. Some kids work from home, and all of those things are factored into what we think might be what the dog's issue were when they came in. Yeah. What issues they may have if we have a puppy coming in and you work from home, we're going to work really hard to get you on a structure that you're not going to create separation anxiety with your dog. And then obviously there's, behavioral issues that the dog came in with that.
If the dog came in with reactivity or human or dog aggression, most of the time the dogs that come in with reactivity do not have enough structure and downtime. Most of the time people's effort is to get more and more energy out of them so that they'll hopefully be better, but those dogs typically need the exact opposite. Yeah. We're not saying don't exercise your dog, but we're going to be specific about what type of exercise and what your dog is doing when it's not.
I think Marvin says a trained or a tired dog is not a trained dog. Those are two separate, independent things.
Getting your dog proper exercise is definitely going to help things, but it's irrelevant if you're not doing the other parts of the recipe. Yep. So don't get rid of what we tell you to do too soon. Our goal for giving you if we could tell you, take your dog home, let him sleep on the couch, give him half your dinner, and they'll be so good, well, we would do that. Yeah. We would feel so good doing that. Yeah. We would be less stressed and less cognitively challenged trying to figure out how to help owners understand that our strictness is not forever. we always say this isn't a life sentence, but you do have to stick to it long enough that the dog believes that the rules apply at home.
Yeah.
If you don't stick to it long enough, the dogs are smarter than you think, and they will see, in this context, I get by with a lot more. I am not held to the same standard, so I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
Anybody who says, I say this, I don't know how many people agree with me, but anybody who says that a dog wakes up to please you is full of shit. They do not. They are looking out for themselves. A lot of times what we want will coincide with what they want. Sometimes we make them addicted to things that we want, like getting attention.
Yeah.
But the dog's most of the time looking out for themselves. So if that conveniently also is things you like, that's great, but it doesn't usually work that way.
Yeah.
So
the structure that we talk about, if you've done our board and train program, we usually refer to it as Marvin Math or our 90-day relationship research.
Yeah, so structure would include the daily routine.
Yeah.
Yep. The crate time. This is like, everyone's like, no.
Yeah.
No crate time.
Yeah.
But this is really an important one. And your dog needs to have the crate time enough that they can learn to go in there and relax, and that may be hard for them when they first go home, but they need that time away from you, and you kind of need the time where you don't have access to the dog.
And this is not only at night.
Correct.
Not only when you leave home.
Correct.
We want you to have it door closed, you are home doing something, maybe it's cooking dinner, eating dinner. Time for you and the dog to be away from each other while you're in your house.
Yep. Yep. The dog needs it. You need it too. You just might not feel that way yet.
Yeah.
Once you get to... The fact is, and this is why we have to talk about this stuff and be strict with certain things, the fact is people are far too codependent.
Totally.
On their dog. And the dog's behavioral challenges stem from that most of the time. Not saying there aren't things that happen outside of that, but relationally, that's like the number one thing that people really struggle with. And if you didn't struggle with being codependent with your dog, this wouldn't be so difficult.
Yeah.
So keep the daily routine, crate time, exercise type and amount. Because sometimes people will go, oh, well, I did walk and I did fetch, but then they let the dog play in the backyard free range for 2 hours and count that as 2 hours of exercise. This is specific to breed and energy levels on a dog. And sometimes the exercise will be something that is structured. Sometimes the exercise will be something that is fulfilling for the dog. And other times it will require a handful of engagement. Oops.
And when you're talking fulfilling, this is breed and predatory filling.
Yeah.
So for a border collie, maybe it's a herding ball, or depending on where you are, maybe you're working livestock.
Yeah.
For a lab, maybe it's playing ball.
Totally. Yep. And there's a lot of breeds that taking them for a hike or letting them run off leash and have some time to just dog is vital to mix with structured walks.
Yeah.
So if you're only doing walks and you're feeling really good because you're walking your dog twice a day for 45 minutes, but you're not doing anything to work their brain or offer them some type of... We ideally go for natural fulfillment, but there are some other things that you can do. They need to have a recipe that works for the breed.
And all of this is different than puzzle toys. It's mental stimulation.
Yeah.
That's a different realm.
Yeah. and we won't say that we tell people to never use those. It's just that no piece of plastic is going to replace these things. Not a chance.
Yeah. Place time as well.
Oh yeah. Yep. For sure. Big one. Place time is hard because sometimes people will try to...
Me.
Yeah.
I did.
They don't quite understand, Mickey was one of these clients, that these things...
are not interchangeable.
You have to do both.
Yep.
So these are two items, not interchangeable.
Just because your dog is sleeping on place and looks like they're asleep and not staring at you does not mean that they really are, which is what the crate time is for.
And some testers for place is like if you place your dog in your office but you walk to the bathroom and they get up, they're not having good quality place time where they're practicing doing nothing. If you go, answer the front door and they come with you, they're not really working on some solid place time.
Yeah.
Place should be you're rehearsing them staying with distractions, and the distraction can be you getting up and walking somewhere. And you should be able to, maybe not the first day, be able to leave the room.
Yeah.
If you're not getting to the point where you can leave the room, this isn't going well.
Yep.
You need to get some help.
Yep.
Okay, so that was number 1. Number 2 is not practicing the cues every day. Not practicing training cues. Hopefully people can read my writing.
Better than mine.
Fun fact, when Mickey started here, she was enraged by the way I used to write with dry erase markers. I would smash the marker like this.
She thought that was the only way to use them.
To use them properly so I don't ruin every marker.
I'd find all of these markers that we had just bought and they were like completely like smashed in. I'm like, who is doing this? She's like, it's me. I was like, can you not do
I thought that was normal.
The worst part is that you would use them in there, and then you'd swap them out for my good ones in there.
Because I didn't like the way it looked when it was smashed and dried out, but I thought that we just went through a lot of markers. Okay, so not practicing training cues every day. If you're watching this, comment if you smash markers or if you feather write with them. Okay, so the mistake here, assuming the training will stick without practicing it.
Yeah.
We kind of touched on this from the beginning, but it's a really bad assumption to think that your dog is just going to be programmed with these things. They come home good, they won't stay good.
Yeah.
If it's a lot easier to have a dog do board and train where the dog knows more than you, because it's easier for you to get on the same page and get caught up, but they don't just maintain all of this. That being said, if you slack off, I do all the time.
Yeah.
I'll be like, man, my dog's not doing this
Marvin will be the first one to tell us.
all the time, every day. But it takes us 3 days to fix it, max.
Yeah.
Because they do have that foundation that we can go back to, but sometimes it takes a little bit of tuning up because we've neglected to maintain those things. So, don't assume that the things will stick. What not to do.
As much as it would be nice to program all of these into your dog and just allow you to press a button and then do them, that's not how that works. But we do set up all of the wiring so that they are able to do those things.
Yeah.
Biologically, we put it in their brains, but it's not an on-off switch.
So for this one, even if you're doing, so the do not is don't assume these things will stick. I tell people pick 3 things. And then we need to talk about the 3 things we pick and the 3 things you pick. Pick 3 things to maintain. Obviously, if you go beyond this, that's fantastic. We love that. But pick 3 things. We talked about you write your 3. I wonder if mine is the same still. Has to come together.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other.
So mine is recall. I don't think any of us would live without recall because it's just like a safety mechanism and access to more freedom. And that's what we want, is the dogs to get to run and be free. no and good. I really want my dog to understand the word no. That's another safety thing. I can keep them out of a lot of trouble if they know what the word no means. I can take them on a walk and there could be something dangerous on the ground and I could tell them no and they would leave it.
Yeah. And we pair that often with Marvin's signature growl. No and are very similar things. But if they hear that, they're like, I don't even want to look at it.
You can use no as your serious one, or you can use at as your serious one. These are your markers of right and wrong.
Yeah.
I tend to use no as my soft, don't do that. And then at as my, like, you're fixing to get in trouble if you do that. Emergency no word. Place is my third thing. I just can get so much done if I need my dogs to go chill for a minute, or if I'm cooking, I cook outside a lot. I need them to go lay down and not.
I think if I had not such a Velcro-y dog, Place would be that. I usually tell him to go Place. But
without Place,
he still leaves me alone. Yeah, which is the biggest thing for me.
And before he was like, what are we doing? Paired up with you 24/7.
I can at least tell him to leave me alone. And oftentimes he'll go and place himself because he knows that that's really what he should do. So go is my...
So sometimes...
And I didn't even realize that was a command that I could utilize before
telling
training.
Your dog to go away.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. And I think... using this command is kind of a statement that you're in a healthy place with your relationship with your dog.
I don't need him
if
to be
you're
with
uncomfortable or it hurts your feelings or you feel it hurts your dog's feelings, to tell them to go away sometimes. These are relationship dynamic problems that you should do some soul searching and address. It's just kind of an indicator if you're willing to tell your dog to go away sometimes that you have a healthy relationship and you're not in need of them being with you 24/7. And the same thing vice versa. They're not in need of you 24/7. So pick things that you want to do. That being said, the trainers will typically say, you need to work on this because your dog resource guards you. Or you really need to work on Place. Oops, sorry, I messed up your side of the board. Oh, wow, I really messed it up now. Your dog maybe needs this for impulse control. Your dog
Some
maybe
people
needs
have
this
never
to not resource
told their dog
guard.
no, and that's what they need to work on.
This one, everybody should have this one. We're not mean.
No.
You know, we don't like find joy in telling dogs not to do things.
A lot of it
just
comes down to
so
safety.
Important to them having more freedom in life and not having mental health issues. So we want your dog to have fun, get to do things. If they don't understand this word, they most of the time can't. They get isolated. They have to be locked up.
Everybody has met a child that has never been told no. And they're all annoyed by it. And that's what your dogs are when you never tell them no.
True. If you have friends over and they're saying, it's fine, when your dog is annoying them, it's not fine. They're fibbing to you. Their dog is driving you nuts. So, and it's either that where the dog is really, really bad when company's around or it's in public, or the dog doesn't get to go in public or doesn't get to be out when company's in town. We don't want either of those things. We want your dog to get to live life with you. So pick things to maintain. If the trainer says you need to maintain some things, you need to maintain those things. They're important for a reason. We don't just like pull draws out of a hat. And 3 things minimum. If you're doing more, that's great. But pick things that you're going to really maintain and rehearse. And those little conversations throughout the day maintain healthy relationship with your dog too, because you're asking them to do something, holding them accountable. And if you skip a day, no big deal. But you got to get back to it, and kind of like a diet, you can't go off a week because you were bad on Monday. It doesn't work that way.
It's a lot harder to do it if you skip more than just a day.
Okay. So, thing number 3. Changing the rules. This one's Marvin's favorite.
Don't pick our program apart.
Don't dissect what we tell you to do. Changing the rules.
Is it going to bug you that you didn't put a number sign in front of that one?
Probably when I'm in editing. Changing the rules. Okay. Allowing behaviors that the trainer discouraged, like jumping on furniture, jumping on people, demand barking, allowing those things when the trainer said these are things we would not recommend allowing this dog to do.
And this is, once again, dependent on the person and the dog. Some people, we allow to have their dog sleep on the couch. We just told some lady the other day that it was okay that her dog was on the couch as long as her dog was on the other side of the couch and she didn't pet it.
This is kind of one that really is such a good example of contingent on the dog.
Yep.
And what you want to do with the dog.
Yeah.
If Cash rushes doors, it does not affect his general friendliness towards people, dogs, or his respect towards humans.
Yep.
But he just is kind of dingy.
Yeah.
So if I want him to be better, this would be something good for me to work on.
For
but
context,
outside of that,
if you
it doesn't
don't know,
matter.
that's Bianca's
true.
Australian Labradoodle, who is just dingy.
Yep.
He's just a goofball.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah. But
his worst trouble is nothing.
Yeah.
Scout,
your Australian Shepherd who bit people and dog fought.
This is a moment where he's like, I get to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
And he enjoys that. So this is a good moment, great opportunity for me to say, hey, let's check in here. Yep. What's your attitude like today going out the door? What's your attitude like going out with dogs? Because sometimes he likes to be bossy. That's a good example of something that if we tell you your dog shouldn't rush doors, there's a reason. And we want that to be little conversations for me where your dog is having some respect for some specific reason. And if you're unsure of the reason, we will give you an elaborate explanation.
Please ask.
Why. We're never making the specifics up. We're picking the rules and the things for your dog specifically. So obviously the bed and the couch is a huge one.
One thing is somebody asked me what was wrong with this on the phone. I said that there was nothing inherently wrong with this.
The bed and the couch.
But if your dog is biting people, it has no respect for you.
And it's an equal in the home, and this is one of the first boundaries you should put into place when you're living with a criminal.
Yeah, there's nothing inherently bad with doing any of these things.
Yeah, the bed and the couch are not ruining it. It's the relationship of your dog sleeping on the bed and the couch, especially with you. Most of the dogs that are biting people are resource guarding people, or they have serious human aggression, but most of them are protecting their people is what people like to say, but they're not. They're owning the people. They're guarding that territory as if it's their own property. Not a good thing. Okay, so this is a rule that you got to stick to. This is one that it depends on if we tell you or not. I mean, we always recommend working on this, but it's not like a non-negotiable for some dogs. Totally. This is a non-negotiable for some dogs. And some dogs we say they can be on the bed and the couch today. We don't care. You just need to fix these other things.
A lot of the times if you're coming to us for training, there's something that you're doing that is not what we would recommend, or else you wouldn't come to us for training.
Yep.
And we don't like telling people they can't have their dogs on the bed or the couch.
Our job would be so much easier if we could tell them to have them on the bed or the couch.
And a lot of us, Bianca and not myself included, did have dogs that slept on the bed and the couch before coming to Marvin, and he told us not to, and we said, fine.
Yeah, I was devastated.
And now our dogs don't bite people.
And they get that privileges back.
Yeah.
And we'll take those away just as quick if they start to get unruly.
Yep.
It's like kids that need some extra boundaries because they're starting to act like teenagers. You don't give them more freedom and maintain the same privileges that they have if they're not kind of earning them.
Yeah.
The dogs don't understand that they're earning them, but they need to for your relationship to stay good. Leash pulling is a huge one. Some dogs, it's like it doesn't matter if you want to get drugged down the street. It bothers us for your dog's sake.
Yeah.
We'd like to see
them
be more comfortable on a walk and more neutral and less chaotic. But if you have a dog that has reactivity, this is a no-go.
Yeah.
It's non-negotiable. You can't let your dog even pull you from the door of the house to the car.
Yeah.
You've got to keep that maintained.
Especially with dogs with reactivity.
Yeah.
And dogs that are biting people.
Yeah. This is a major area of them
choosing
remaining engaged with you. And engagement doesn't mean that the dog's looking at you and staring at you and drooling over you. It's that if I say your name, I can get your attention.
Yeah. Or if I walk off, you better be with me.
Yeah. You're hooked up with me, and I have control of the situation if we come up on something. So enforce the same rules that we tell you. Don't dissect the program. That being said, Marvin is very generous, and he pays us to spend time on the phone and via email explaining and supporting owners when they go home if they're struggling with anything.
Yeah.
But you've got to ask you've got to ask those questions, and get the support you need. We can't do it for you. You've got to take the ownership.
And sometimes
of that
he'll
part.
give you Marvin will say, okay, you can do these things, but if you don't get better, if other things don't get better, then you have to take it away.
Yeah.
It's like, you can try doing all of the other things and keeping that in place, but if that doesn't work, then we got to go back to square one and start reset the relationship.
Yeah. And then when you do go to change the rules, because we did say, and we'll stick by our word that it's not a life sentence, it's the best protocol is to ask your trainer, am I ready to loosen up on any of these rules? And do a check-in, send an email with how everything's going. We might interrogate you a little bit if we don't believe you.
Everything's going
You also
great,
know who you are. We're going to pick the categories that we believe you might be struggling with and do an honest check-in before we say, yeah, go ahead and start.
And our biggest thing that we'll most likely recommend is starting with one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Don't give them free range of the house. Let them on the bed. Let them on the couch. Don't do structured walks anymore. Give them all sniff walks.
Yeah.
Because then it's harder to pick apart which part is the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes just dogs can't handle that much freedom.
Totally. Yep. And that's why we give people a follow-up lesson. We kind of want to have you check in and let us know how things are going. And sometimes people slip too soon. Back to number one. And if you slip too soon, you're likely going to slip with the other ones as well. And then it'll just go all out the window. And Marvin says, if you want to, change the rules, dissect the program, do whatever you want, and then you'll have to pay for a refresher in 6 months to a year.
And we're always here.
Yeah.
We might give you some lectures. And
we will for sure give you some lectures, but we will help you. We just don't want you to do it that way. Yeah. We'd rather you just stick to the program.
It's cheaper for you to do it our way.
True. Yeah, very. Keeps us in business if you don't. Number 4. Using the tools correctly. This one seems like such a duh, but it's not that simple. Part of it is just putting it on the dog right.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get people that come back in the pinch collars inside out.
Man, the things that I've seen, crazy. Tie back attached to the wrong part.
Yeah. To make the pinch collar not pinch.
Yeah. We have a video on this, on where your training tools should be on YouTube. Yeah. We could probably post it on Instagram too, but just...
So, proper fit and placement.
Throwing things.
She really doesn't want you to put your collar on wrong.
Yeah.
Not using them at all. We will have people come to a follow-up lesson. I hope you're watching this. And I'm not even talking about anyone specific because it's happened so often.
But the e-collar's still in the box?
In their pocket. In their hand. Their dog's pulling them into the barn because the dog's excited to be back here, which always surprises people.
I love when people come in for boarding and they hand me the e-collar. I'm like, well, that'd be helpful to get them in the barn.
The funniest thing is that I don't care if the people come in and their dog's really respectful.
Totally.
And they have a slip lead on the dog. Or a harness. I don't care. If the dog comes in, doesn't pull you, doesn't jump on you, doesn't have a total fit when we take the leash. We don't care if they're wearing a tutu. But if you don't have these things,
and if
you have no e-collar and you have no pinch collar and you look at your dog trainer and you're like, he's pulling me. We're like, I bet. I'm sure he is.
This isn't a secret, but I don't think everybody knows that we have cameras that we can see outside the barn door so that when it's cold and stuff like that, we don't have to see out. I mean, everybody can see them when they leave, but some of y'all be doing the wildest things outside.
Some of y'all be doing it until you get to the door, you ring the doorbell, and then you're like, no, Fluffy, sit. Sit. Like you've been making a mind since the parking lot. There's cameras in the parking lot, too. So
we just don't have live feed of those.
I'm going to do a video of how the average client brings their dog into the barn, and it's chaotic. And we see it. We know.
The Sally Port gets the most people in trouble.
For sure, yeah.
Everyone's like, they're doing great at home.
Yeah, they don't do this at home. And we do believe some of that. The dogs are really excited to be here. They get to have a lot of fun.
And that makes us happy. We don't really care how they act there as long as they're not...
As long as you're not getting drugged down the barn hallway, though. Take your time coming in. Yeah. Use that as an opportunity. If they aren't that way at home, then start to make them behave coming back to see us. But not having the tools on and then saying the dog isn't being good is like that makes sense. This is kind of a don't drop the structure too soon.
Yep.
We don't use tools on our dogs.
This is not a life sentence
forever.
Either. Yeah.
For most dogs, it's not. Some maybe.
Yeah. Outside of the house, Blue always has his e-collar on. Period.
Right. But we don't need to walk them on pinch collars. We don't need the e-collar. We just believe in it and know it's safer to have it if we decide to turn them loose. But if you get rid of this stuff too soon, it all goes back to not rehearsing the things long enough, not maintaining the skills, and this is how you're reinforcing a lot of that. So you're just missing opportunities if you're not geared up right.
Connected.
Yeah, weird. It's like we've done this for a while, and Marvin's done it for 30 years, and each person we teach, we get better.
Totally, we learn something new. Yeah. One of the biggest things that, like, when I did board and train 2 years ago, and our program has, even before I started working here, has grown exponentially
every month.
Different ways, the things we learn. Marvin will teach us something new with a dog that we've never done, and we're like, oh, dang.
Sometimes we get a dog that we've never had to try that before because they all get it, and then one dog goes, no, I do not know how to learn in this context. And
Marvin
always has a way.
Yeah.
That's something too that, like, I'll never forget. There's a client that we told them not to have the dog on the couch, on their couch. We said, don't have the dog on your couch. And they went into Costco and purchased the dog.
Didn't they come in and the wife was like,
couch.
Tell him what you did. Tell him what you did.
That was a different one, I think. Yeah. So, the dog had its own couch, and the point was no furniture. So that's an example of we learned we can't tell people don't have the dog on your couch because you might go get it its own couch, and we learn how to be more clear in our instruction. Okay, so not using tools and then not using tools properly. If you're struggling with any of these things, we want you to ask for extra help. We can review stuff. We're always trying to make new video content on things specifically that people are struggling with. But a really good example is a pinch collar or a prong. It's not meant to slow your dog's towing you down.
Yeah.
It's meant to make a correction, the dog be on a loose leash. That drives us nuts. If your dog is not pulling you, the pinch collar should not be just
if you have no slack in your leash, you have issues.
That's not how it works. Yeah, that's not how it should be operating.
That's where a lot of those tools get a bad rep.
For sure.
Is because that's how people use them.
And if you let your dog tow you down the road with a pinch collar, they're going to become less sensitive to it.
Yeah.
And then they're just used to it. Yeah. And they're someone referred to them the other day as super athletes. Yeah. So they are resilient enough to just drag you down the street with a prong collar and not give a shit. Yeah. So if you're allowing that, they're going to get better at not giving a shit, and you're not going to get better at having them be respectful and play on a leash and walk comfortably. It's chaotic for them to be dragging you down the street. You see owners that their dog's like prancing along and on a loose lead, and then you see owners where the dog is dragging them and the dog is like stressed trying to pull the weight, digging in, and it's in some forms rewarding to them, but it's not good. Okay.
Slight technical difficulties, but we're back.
Yeah. If you didn't know, we used to have a media guy, and he's a full-time groomer now, so welcome to the media team. And we kind of know what we're doing. Okay, number 5, letting old triggers sneak back in. We tell people a lot of times that you should be proactive, not reactive. Some of these things are so cliche, but it's like true, you know?
Yeah.
An example of that is like, let's say your dog used to bite people at the door. That's an extreme one, but let's just go with that. And you go home, you get the novelty of the door off, and the dog leaves the doorway alone. And then one day, really noisy FedEx driver drops off a package, and he trips and he slams boxes into your door, and your dog freaks out and goes back to old reactions. Kind of rightfully so.
Yeah.
Like something that freaks them out. You still want to work through that conversation.
Yep.
You don't want to just allow it and then the next day be like, oh, he's barking at everyone that comes to the door again now. So even if something sneaks back in for a reason that the dog kind of had a good excuse to go back to old habits, you still want to have a conversation and be proactive rather than a week later, man, he's been barking at the door every day. Now I got to call Mama and Bianca and do a lesson. Where if you just had a little conversation that won't take as much as when you first started to keep the dog on track, you won't have to be reacting to a problem. You're preventing a problem from sneaking back in. Don't rush exposure to things. Don't rush levels of distraction until you're ready for it. Whether that's other dogs, guests, off-leash things. Don't do off-leash things. Let's say your dog doesn't recall well. Like you have one of the dogs that, and man, you know who you are, Kylo. There's so many more dogs than that, but Kylo was like one of the, Kylo and Georgia.
Yeah.
When you call the dog and they run from you, if your dog was that kind of dog when it came to recall, not like they ignored you and eventually came, one that booked it down the street when they got away from you or when you tried to catch them, don't go take them and turn them off leash at the beach 7 days after board and train. Make sure you're ready for that because we've done a really good job of undoing the habit that your dog hears you say come and runs the other way. You've got to continue keeping that habit undone. You want to rehearse it in a more controlled environment with lower distractions first and add progression when you're ready for it, rather than letting that stuff just come right back in too soon. So same thing here. Create training scenarios. Let's say your dog's a counter surfer. Create training scenarios where you're putting food on the counter and doing a sting operation with your dog. Not, oh, I made beef tri-tip and the dog stole it off the counter because I was out talking to 72 guests in my living room, and my examples are not dramatic at all. The dog ate dinner. So you want to set your dog up for the training scenarios. We had a lady in the group class that has 2 really nice dogs that wants her dogs to hold a stay at the doorway when she goes to get the groceries. They hold the threshold now, but they get up and walk around, and she wants them to like hold a down stay or a sit stay. I told her, go get pretend groceries and come back and hold your dog accountable rather than go get the groceries. Now your hands are full. Now you're not set up to train on your dog, but you need to. You've got to set up fake scenarios and not be busy when you need to train on your dog. So lots of reinforcing what you need to maintain. This is a lot of times having to do with reactivity or bad habits.
And don't avoid old triggers. When you first go home from board and train, maybe avoid them a little bit, to work on your relationship. Don't go to the neighbor that has the worst dog and makes your dog act like a crazy nut job. If you live fairly close, we'll come and do that with you.
True. Without the right support, unless you're totally confident you've got control, you and the dog are in a good spot. Some people are that way when they go home, but if you don't feel that way, don't go throw yourself.
Because every time your dog practices having that reaction, it's fun for them. They enjoy it.
Very self-rewarding reactivity, especially. And if it's something simple like a dog jumping on people when they come in the door, don't let people in unless you have control of the dog to train on him, and let people pet the dog while he's jumping on them, while she's jumping on them, and he or she is getting rewarded for
and it's okay if you don't if you're not in the mood to train on those things, just don't put yourself in that situation. Put them in the crate if you have people coming over and you don't want to worry about what your dog's doing.
Okay, I'm going to let you write the next one, expecting a finished product.
It's not like yours. There, I'll do that for you.
We've kind of touched on this, but I do think this is misunderstood sometimes, where people think in 3 weeks. I've been saying lately that I'm, what's the fairy on Cinderella?
The fairy
that
godmother?
goes bippity boppity boo.
I think it's just
I
the
think
godmother.
people genuinely believe in 3 weeks we go bippity boppity boo, and then the dog, bam, sparkles.
Yeah.
And does everything on command and is perfect.
Yeah.
When you go home expecting this, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to be impatient with your dog. You're going to slow down your progress because you're not working together with your dog as a team.
Yeah.
That's why board and trains get such bad rap. A lot of people will say, don't do a board and train the dog yourself. That's great if you have the time to do that. Board and trains are great because the dog is learning a lot and has a foundation that you can learn off of. Marvin uses the example that he got a roping horse that was good at that sport, then he learned how to rope.
Yeah.
If he and the horse were learning alongside each other, it would have taken them a lot longer to get anywhere. And that's we all know that instant gratification is more rewarding.
Yeah.
So if your dog knows some things, it's going to be more rewarding when you're practicing it. But you have to learn with them, and you are a team. So you have to, it's easier for you to do it if the dog already has a foundation, but you have to rehearse the things, practice them, get support where you need it. You have to get better in order for your dog to be better.
Yep.
If you expect them to be a perfectly programmed robot, you're not going to be fair to the dog. You're not going to give the dog an opportunity to be their best because they're going to be disappointed when they make a mistake.
Yeah.
And people don't go learn new things and not make mistakes. So be fair to your dog and know that they do know a lot of things, but they're not a mechanical project. So, Newt. View board and train as a jump start.
Yeah.
A really good jump start where you have foundations that you're working off of. But if you have a foundation to a house, it's not a finished house. You've got to do a lot of...
To be really dramatic, there is no such thing as a finished product with a dog. Your work is never done.
If you got a dog, you will be doing some sort of training forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you should know
how
that
far
when you
you
sign up for one.
how far you go with that depends on what your goals are. But just like we said, you have to practice all your behaviors daily, or else you're going to lose some of them.
Yeah. And understand that dogs don't generalize everything. Handlers or contexts.
That's why we have so many different handlers and trainers.
Yeah. Our life would be easier if I said, Mickey, these are your 5 dogs. Heather, these are your 5 dogs. Marvin, these are your 10.
And then you don't get any.
And then I manage them all. But it truly would be easier on us if we work the dogs, but sometimes we go out and Mickey and Heather switch, or Mickey and I switch. And I look at Mickey and I'm like, this dog doesn't lay down. And Mickey's like, yes, it does. And I'm like, okay, I just need to work through it.
Yeah.
And if we didn't do that, then the dog would do everything for the first handler that's done well with the dog, but then learn to ignore other handlers easier. It makes it even easier on the owner because we're not like a in-home board and train where they're just being handled by one person.
Yeah.
They start to learn, all humans are doing these things. They do start to generalize, but they don't do it on their own.
Yeah.
So having the multiple handlers and then us taking them into different contexts. Sometimes the different context is simply going from the round pen to the outside.
Yep.
And telling them to do the same things. And we typically have to work through that. We don't just take the dog who learned everything and got it down pat in the round pen, take it outside, and it's like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I do it outside too. Usually we go outside and they're like, outside. Everything's sparkly.
And then we take them to town and they're like, oh my God.
More outside. So you have to practice in new contexts and know that your dog's going to do really good for you and then might blow your husband off. Your husband might have to work on some of those things to expect the same results that you're getting. So same thing when you're passing from one trainer to another and then to the owner. If you have other people in the house, they have to put in some work too.
Yep.
No one can expect a finished product. So your dog knows a lot, but be fair with them on that. Number 7. All of these are really important to us that you know these things, because ultimately your success is our success. So we want you to know these things, but this one is we really want you to know these things. Mistake number 7 is not following up with the trainer.
We could cry about how much this
Truly.
is important to us.
Yeah. Someone said to me yesterday that my job working with dogs and people, that my serotonin must be all over the place. And it's so true, because we literally talk to people who we've done our very best. We're not perfect either, but we're doing our very best to try and teach you what to do to be successful and get the results that you want. Some people go home and Leslie and Murphy. Mm-hmm. That dog was doing everything really well for us. We brought her in and all of a sudden he was like, I don't downstay. Yeah. I don't even know what that is. Yeah. I follow you around everywhere you go with his mom. We took quite a bit of time creatively working through that. Yeah. Then we sent her home and told her to do it. She came back the next morning and it was fixed.
24 hours.
Because she went home, she did what we said, she put the work in, and we were like, yeah. Literally could give her a round of applause because we were so proud of her.
The other day, somebody texted and said, my dog got rushed by another dog and now he's barking at everybody. And this happened yesterday, or at the time it had happened the day before. And I was like, okay, we'll get you in this week, right now. Yep. Because we know how important that is. We got him out with some other good dogs. We worked through it. Totally. He did react in the lesson, and we were able to work through it with him. Yeah. It's easier when they actually exhibit the behaviors in the lesson than being perfect. But we told him how proud of him that we were, that he called us right away.
We're equally proud of the person who had a challenge, went home, took on the challenge, did the work, and fixed it on their own. Yep. As we are the people who need help and can't fix it on their own or aren't fixing it on their own and ask us for help. Yep. We just want you to use your investment. You're making an investment when you train with us. I won't say that for every trainer, but we want to support the dog for life. Yeah. So you are making a mistake if you don't follow up with us and you're having an issue. That being said, some people go home and their dog, before board and train, the dog's overall life score for behavior, temperament is I'll say people are generous. So we'll say it's a 5 out of 10 because it's just a nice dog and they love it so much. But it doesn't get along with other dogs and jumps on people and doesn't recall, right? After board and train, the dog comes home and they're like, it's a 8 out of 10. Sometimes during training, we see a dog that is literally a 10 out of 10. Yeah. Freaking great at everything, really motivated, good behavior. Sometimes people go home and that 20% of getting better, they don't aim for. Yeah. That hurts our feelings.
Or we're not this unhappy. Is so different because their life score is 3 higher than it was. Yeah. Then they're like, this is amazing, but they still react on walks and I can't go on walks. And we're like, no, we want to help you through that.
They're like, everything is so much better. My life is so much better. Thank you. There's this one thing, but I'm not worried about it because everything's so much better. Yeah. That pains us because you're so close to increasing that by even 5%. Don't settle, Marvin says, with what you got if you're way happier, but you know there's things that you could still work on. Yeah. That literally hurts us.
And we'll set you up if there's some dogs that may not be always a 10 out of 10 based on genetics and all sorts of crazy things. But if we'll tell you, if we don't think that your dog will be able to get to a 10 out of 10, then we'll say you'll still always have to work on these things.
Yeah, we might have a dog that you would give an F in life, and then we give that dog a C+, and then you go home and the dog has a D+, and you're like, it's great. It's so much better. We want you to get to here.
Yeah.
And you often can. That's not even true. We want you to get here.
Yeah. Sometimes we won't see. Kona's a great example. This dog really wasn't having a great life. Did really good in training, but then they went and after training.
That dog, even during training, it was like a solid C.
And we saw them the other day, and she's B or A.
Yeah. A category. Yeah. For sure.
We know you can get there. It's just a matter of sometimes it won't happen right during board and training.
I would like to at some point interview owners like the two we worked with at the park the other day, because they're both doing so good, and I'm curious if they thought it would be as not difficult as it was. Like it didn't take that much.
Yeah.
And not saying they didn't put effort in, but I think it's harder. It's not as hard as it seems to put in that work, to maintenance, to rehearse, to practice, to get the dog in a good spot. Yeah. Murphy's mom the other day said, I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
That's what Marvin wants, is for you to have fun training your dog. It shouldn't suck. It shouldn't be boring. It should be fun. Some of the things, boundaries and stuff, are hard, but you've got to make the time to have fun doing some of these things. Otherwise, it's not going to be the same for you or your dog. Okay. One last thing for that. Send us video clips if there's stuff that you're struggling with, because we can often critique and give you feedback by reviewing the footage, and sometimes it'll prompt us to make a video to help too. So schedule something right away. If you need help, don't put it off. That's the other thing. Do not put it off if you need help.
We'll do crazy things for our schedules to help you with yours if you need to get in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So board and train is real. It works. The dogs get really good results in foundations, but the key ingredient is that you go home, you work on these things, you practice, you get the hang of it, you get your gears going, you find out where you need help or are struggling. If you are, get a hold of us, do the follow-up, use your investment, and don't make your own program.
Marvin always says that we're only done with you when you're done with us.
Correct. Yeah. And we do. We have some dogs that go home that we would love to see them once a month. We had so much fun with your dog when it's here. It's a good thing that you don't need us. But the ones that do, we're waiting for your phone call. We literally are staffed to have the coverage in the office to be able to support people after board and train. I don't think every program is that way, but that's something that Marvin is really proud of, and we're of course proud of too. Yeah, is how much aftercare we are willing to put in to get you. You can text us at
10 p.m. The office phone lives in the office, or it's on Do Not Disturb, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Usually next day morning.
And Mickey says this more often than I do, because I've been here longer, I think. If it's been 6 months or a year, you can still text us, and Mickey will be nice. Marvin and I will probably lecture you for not getting a hold of us sooner, but the truth is we really do want to help you. So, and a lot of people will do refreshers.
Yep.
The $100 a day is what a refresher costs. And whether life got busy, you had a setback that you didn't get a hold of us, an incident, or you want to advance, a week of this can get you really far if your dog has that foundation. So 7 days, $100 a day. If you are way off the wagon, it's a lot cheaper than another whole board and train.
Yeah.
Assuming the dog isn't like going back to biting people, that's a different story.
Yeah.
That's a more intense lecture. So comment questions.
Still get a hold of us if your dog's fighting.
Totally. Yeah, we'll still help you. We'll just probably charge you a little more if you haven't stayed on top of things. Comment questions. If you have any ideas for our next video, comment that. And it helps us if you say if this was helpful.
Yeah.
It prompts us to do more of these videos. They're not necessarily our first choice. We would be rather we'd rather spend 3 times as much time on one dog than make videos.
Yeah.
But we want to do these to help you all. So comment and let us know if it was helpful, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cool.